All right, today we're going to walk through a story. It's one of those quiet stories, you know? The kind about feelings that don't really have a name, but we've all felt them. This one is called Lines That Begin to Blur.
And that, right there, just cuts to the heart of it, doesn't it? The real pain isn't being ignored. It's that slow, silent process of being replaced. There's no warning, no announcement. It just starts.
So our story kicks off in a place I'm sure we all recognize, a crowded hallway on results day. You can just feel that specific kind of tension in the air, a mix of crazy high hopes and that deep, sinking anxiety.
Tanay scans the list, and you can almost feel him breathe that sigh of relief. He's fine. Meera glances at it, looking pretty pleased with herself, casually mentioning all her late-night study sessions. But then, there's Rhea. She finds her name, and her face just falls. I mean, it's a pass, but it's nowhere near the results she worked so hard for.
Tanay tries to cheer her up, telling her she did fine, but you can feel that disconnect, that little forced smile, that quiet, I guess. That's the feeling of putting in all this effort and having it be completely invisible. It just hurts differently when it doesn't show up on paper.
And this is where those lines really start to get blurry. Because now, we're going to see something that the characters can't. We get a little peek behind the curtain. First, let's look at Rhea's reality. Her effort is, well, it's real. You can see it. It's the library, it's that sea of open notes, highlighter marks all over everything. It's a real struggle, but she's pushing through. It's genuine, it's honest, and it is hard work.
And then we see Meera's reality. It looks like studying, sure. She's got a book open for show, but the real work, that's happening on the laptop screen, where answers are just being copied and pasted. A quick flick to close the browser tab, a confident little smile, it's a performance. And that's the whole thing, isn't it? From the outside, it looks like they're both trying so hard, but one of them is actually putting in the work, and the other one is just putting on a really, really convincing show. So what happens next? Well, this gap between their realities starts to cause this really subtle but major shift. We start to see attention moving, and a little bit of physical distance slowly turns into a huge emotional one. Picture this. They're in the canteen. Meera slides her notebook over to Tanay, showing him some problems she's solved. He's impressed. They lean in, they're laughing, sharing this private little moment. And Rhea, she's sitting right there, right opposite them. But she might as well be on another planet. She's just a spectator now.
And it's not just us who see it. It's not all in her head. This quiet little exchange between Kabir and Sana confirms everything. This shift is real, and other people are starting to notice it too.
So Rhea tries. She tries to bridge that gap that's getting wider and wider. She sends a simple message, just a small attempt to reconnect. She waits, but her phone stays dark. And in that silence, we see Tanay, totally absorbed, laughing at something Meera just said. Her effort is met with absolutely nothing. So this brings us to how this is all happening. See, it's not some big, aggressive move. It's quiet. It's a polite replacement. And Meera's whole strategy is a masterclass in how manipulation works best when it's disguised as something nice. Let's just break down her method for a second. First, she pretends they have this shared struggle. I honestly hate studying. Right there, she's relatable. Then she makes it about him, with a compliment that makes him feel seen. I like how serious you get. It's so personal, so subtle, and it just creates this little emotional connection. And here's the kicker. Tanay is totally oblivious. He doesn't see this as a calculated move at all. To him, it feels like a genuine connection. And that naivete, well, that's exactly why it works so perfectly. And you can see the direct result of this shift right here. Rhea comes over, asks Tanay a direct question, but before he can even open his mouth, Meera jumps in, answers for him, and he just kind of nods along. Rhea isn't just ignored here, she's actively, but oh so politely, boxed right out of the conversation. And that's the feeling, right there. It's not anger that Rhea feels, it's just exhaustion. Because when the cruelty is wrapped up in politeness, there's nothing you can really fight against. You just have to stand there and take it. So where does this all end up? Not with a big fight? Not with some dramatic confrontation? No, it leads to something way, way heavier. The crushing, suffocating weight of silence. We see Rhea back in her room, the same place where she used to put in all that genuine effort. But now, the books are just props on her desk. Her focus is completely gone, replaced by this empty stare at her phone.
She can't quite put a name to this feeling yet, but we can see something darker just starting to form.
And then, in the sharpest contrast you can imagine, we see Meera. She's not confused. She's not conflicted. She is in complete control, carefully typing out a message, deleting it, starting again. And that little smirk on her face, it says everything. This is a game, and she knows exactly how to play it.
In the end, this story isn't really about some big, sudden betrayal. It's about this quiet, powerful truth. Affection, attention, connection, they can change direction long before anyone ever admits it out loud. It just happens, and you're the one who's left to deal with the aftermath.
And so the lines just keep on blurring, quietly, without any announcement at all. Which just leaves us with the big question for the season finale. What happens when all of this quiet pain finally leads to a conversation?